Thank you so much to Canva for sponsoring today's video. Hey guys, how are ya? So if you are wondering what I'm doing with these huge random cylinder tubes, that is a great question. My plan is to make a dining table, and so I went to Home Depot as usual. Okay, so I'm about to go to Home Depot to get a bunch of different supplies, and it's currently raining, so I'm just waiting for my husband to like bring the car to the front, you know, so I don't have to get wet and my umbrella's in there. This is our little makeshift design to see if this is gonna work out. My initial plan for this project was to put a smaller tube inside of a bigger tube and then fill that in-between channel with concrete. But then I started thinking how heavy it was going to be, how much concrete I was gonna need, how I'd have to mix all of that up. I just realized I'm matching these. That's funny. There were too many variables associated with it. So I actually went back to Home Depot again. Okay, so I just had the hardest time ever picking out 1x4s at Home Depot. Goodness gracious. And now I'm by myself pushing this cart, which is insanely hard to maneuver. And now I wait for the guy to cut my pieces for me. It took me 3 hours in Home Depot to fully figure out my plan and what I was gonna do, and I landed on this idea of building out a base out of wood and then using these as like a covering to the base so that it would look like a perfect pillar. So the second time I went to Home Depot, I got a bunch of 2x4s cut to size, and I also got some plywood that I am going to use to cut out circles that will perfectly fit in this. I don't know, this is a very loose plan. And with that being said, this is the video where I'm starting to do my dining table. I don't know how far I'm gonna get in this video because there's a lot of steps for the table. You feel me? Okay, so step one is actually going to be to cut off a little piece of each one of these tube form things.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in all conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken.
So I literally just got tired about 40 minutes ago and sat down, and I've just been here ever since, just sitting, procrastinating the next step, as usual. But I will start again. See, I still even have one earplug in, you know? Let's go. Time to work, time to work. Also, I think part of the reason I'm procrastinating is because the room is a disaster. Do you see?
I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing.
Okay, so my plan with this is to trace out 2 of the inside of each of these little circle cutouts. And that is going to make like the top of the base and the bottom of the base.
Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me want to try forever.
So I also just like labeled these small, large, 2 medium, another large. Now I just gotta cut it out. Okay, so I had to get out the instructions for the saw because I know I need to change the blade out. I haven't changed it since I ever used it. So I got a whole set of blades somewhere. Haha, so I got a whole set of blades here. What the heck? Haha, oh that's so easy. And I did a little test. And it fits perfect. Now just like that many more to cut out. Well, while I was sawing the circles, my husband brought all the wood up. God bless. Also, Exhibit A, some like, you know, just disaster. Just, that's what I have to say. We'll close this. Time for a break. I'm making some tea. I'm actually living right next door to my mom. We're actually gonna have Chinese food over at her house and I'm really excited for it. So I'm late and I'm going to run and do that and just leave behind my huge mess because, well, it just is what it is, you know? Literally just walking over it with my tea in hand. This is what life is about, I swear. Okay.
We should start.
So did you calculate the number of pocket holes we need to do?
28 clamps. Drill, 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 drill. It's a lot of drilling. We should start.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go drill all the pocket holes now. I initially was going in between like 2 different installation methods, but I decided on the pocket holes because I did the little test and the other method was actually really hard for me to do. Back in the little workspace. So this is actually day 2 of my experiments to fully figure out whether we should do pocket holes or drill from the top down. And we decided on doing the pocket holes and to actually have pocket holes on both sides, so like the inside and the outside. I just really want to make sure that this is super sturdy. So now we're gonna do it. Actually, first I'm gonna change. I did want to show you, I got leather pants. These are like the Aritzia leather ones that I couldn't find any other options.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling. Beyond the goal, we stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know.
Look who's helping me. The helper is back.
For all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly.
Today it is incredibly rainy and gloomy outside, and when that's the case, I love to like turn a fake fireplace on the TV and just like relax and stay cozy and stuff like that. Today I am going to put together all the pieces of wood and just see how far I get. Just a little like daily count update for you. Again, to refresh, I thought this would take me 2 days. We're probably going on 4 days at this point. It's okay. We're going to start our day, have my cup of tea, and get working. I'm ready to work. Let's assemble the pillars.
Putting our life in boxes, erasing the memories so you won't notice. I'm taking the time to focus. You're by yourself, I'm by myself. Wish I could solve.
So I have 3 sides on, and I'm actually now going to flip it upside down and do the other side of it because otherwise I won't be able to access the inside screws. I think this is gonna work, hopefully. The last piece that I add on that I can't screw in from the inside, it's totally fine. It's super secure. So yeah, 1 pillar down, the rest go. It's actually easier than I thought it was gonna be. It just took a lot of thinking. So I am just taking a little break here and I thought now would be a great time to tell you a little bit more about Canva, who is the sponsor of today's video. Now I cannot tell you how much I love Canva because I've been using them for over the last 5 years. I actually started using them way before my YouTube days, and they just make it so easy to make high quality, engaging content, whether that be like social media content or PDFs or video content, animated videos. Now, I'm specifically gonna tell you a little bit more about their free video editor, which I think is just such a good tool. And they just make it so easy to create and edit high quality video content. Now, in my opinion, one of the absolute best things about Canva are their templates because they have so many free but stunning graphic templates that are not only customizable, but also really fun to just play around with. They're great to use for YouTube videos, but would also be super handy to use for working professionals or small businesses to basically make ideas come to life and to also create more consistent professional branding via video. I also really like their fonts, which by the way, you can actually animate those in the video editor to come in and make the whole thing more dynamic. The Canva video editor just takes content to the next level without very much effort at all. I really just love them, you guys, and I've loved them for so many years. And in case you'd like to try it out, I have linked it down below. You can try it out for free, so check that out for sure. I swear it helped me so much even before my YouTube days, and during my YouTube days, it has helped me time and time again, so I highly recommend it. Now without further ado, back to the table legs. Okay, so these are the 3 pillars all completed right now, or at least to this stage. I did a little test. They're all the exact same height and everything, which for some reason really surprises me, even though it shouldn't, because, you know, they're all, you know, it just shouldn't. Anyway, so the next thing is to cut these to be the same height as those. Ready?
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Good morning, new day, same problem. Yesterday, I put the tube things on the actual pillars. For one of them, which was the loosest fit when I did a test, it went on perfectly all the way to the bottom. But for these two, which were tighter when I did the test, I couldn't get it on the bottom circle. So I pulled them back up, and I'm just gonna take my saw and trim off the edges that were a little bit like protruding. I'm gonna seal the edges using crazy glue. I'm just using this on the top and bottom of the cardboard. The paint in itself can also just act, because I'm gonna paint this, it's going to also act as just a sealant overall, but the edges, I just wanna extra protect. The super glue will also make it really hard, which I think is a good thing. You can't tell with these, but these are really like, they're meant to hold cement to create form. So they're like, nothing's gonna happen, you know what I mean? I'm really confident in this holding its shape overall, especially with the finish that we're gonna have on it. I'm 90% sure that I should be using a respirator. Got it. Okay, and the question is it all dry? Yes, it is, and it's like super hard. So hard to explain that, but like it's not like that papery edge. When you have the glue on it, it becomes like super hard and just like stiff, and that's what we want. Perfect, now we can finish it. Okay, so the first color is painted black, and the thing is, I can kind of still see like the wrapping of the cardboard. I wanted to use like drywall compound on that initially, but I don't have drywall compound. All I have is wood fill. I think I'm just gonna try and use the wood fill, and then we'll go from there. I'm back again with my thing, you know.
To slow down. Fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world out? Rest with me, close to curtain.
Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is turn this into looking a little bit more like metal, because that's the game plan. So I have this, which I got from Home Depot. It's Rust-Oleum Metallics Accent. Is it gonna work properly? We don't know. I did a tiny patch test. Take a little bit of the gold paint, wipe most of it off. You're going to do like a back and forth sweeping motion. This is one of the coolest things I've ever done. This looks like gold metal finish in person. It is the coolest thing. Wow.
Just look at how real that looks. Oh my God, I'm just like fangirling right now at myself.
It looks so much like real metal and the exact vibe I wanted. So, wow, 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 wow. Tired again. So you guys, here are the table legs all finished. Do you see how stunning and reflective and metal-like that looks? It is insane. I'm obsessed. Now I genuinely love how these turned out. I don't think they could have gone any better. I'm 99% done with them. Kind of all the heavy lifting's done. I might add a top coat on, but I don't know. But this took me 7 full days, not including pre-planning and not including the editing, because I haven't started editing it yet. And this is where it comes down to like the fact that I wish I could go faster, but I can't. So I think my plan going forward is it's always going to be to show you a realistic timeline of how things are going. And I'm going to include more of my everyday life to give you more of the whole story and show you more of what goes into Homemade Happy. It might not always include a completed project. It might include part of the way, and I just don't want to get burnt out or feel too down on myself for going slow. So I hope that makes sense. I really enjoyed this episode. I love how these turned out, and I can't wait for next week where I'm going to, I think, start on the tabletop. So I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. Bye. Also, sometimes my camera does a weird thing, but like, do you see that? Look at the colors. It glistens, it's gold, it's beautiful. Bye.